What is going on, everybody? Welcome back for another episode of the glorious, the wonderful, and the great FBA TV. So for today, we're going to do kind of a little bit of information, kind of fill you guys in on the recruiting process, a little bit of stuff going on with scouting nowadays with COVID and everything being wrapped up, and kind of where we're at in the midst of everything. All right, so I'm going to let Coach go ahead and take it away, and then, we'll kind of go from there.
How you doing, guys? Well, I want to start off by saying the scouting and recruiting aspect of travel baseball or showcase baseball and what we do has changed dramatically over the last 8 months with the pandemic that has happened. It's very fluid at this point, and it keeps being fluid based off of the governing bodies at the NCAA, Division I, Division II, the NJCs, and things like that. But I really want to focus more on the player themselves and what they should expect and how they should expect it. I know a lot of 2022s that want to be Division I athletes. If you're not being contacted by Division I programs to either go to a camp or want to know academic information about how you've done thus far in high school, then you're most likely not a Division I guy, which there are so many Division II, Division III, NAIA, and junior colleges that are amazing programs. And I want everyone to realize, too, that you get the opportunity to play at the next level, and that's what's the most important in my eyes. But you've got to go where you fit. If you're looking for the program to tweet out or to Instagram or whatever it is, whatever social media platform you choose, based off the name, then you're going to be sorely mistaken in a year when you don't like the program or the coach you think doesn't like you or any other excuse that I've heard in recent history. You've got to go where you fit, where you're valued, and if you don't, you're going to revisit the same recruiting process in a year, except you're going to be dealing with a whole nother group of players.
So just out of curiosity, like with say I'm past like the high school going into college, what if I was a junior college guy wanting to go on to D1, D2, D3, NAIA? How does that outlook kind of look right now with getting extra years of eligibility, and I guess it really still comes down to finding the best fit for whatever situation you can find.
Well, I mean, the funnel has gotten very tight, considering the people that are going to hurt the most are the kids that are in high school because of the recruiting process. If you understand that the 2019s and 2020s that are already in college that got their opportunity are still there, and they're receiving more eligibility every single time that the NCAA or this pandemic keeps escalating, then you realize that the 21s, 22s, and 23s that are in high school, and those are grad years, are the ones that are going to be affected because there's only so many spots, and the NCAA hasn't given any more scholarships. All they've done is expand the roster a little bit to a point now where you're going to have 35 active players, which still doesn't help anybody when it comes to an athletic scholarship at an NCAA school. With that being said, that's why we really, really, really promote academics at FBA, because if you can put together a package where you're a high academic kid and they can give you the minimum athletically or even none because you are so smart, then you're looked at as two players on that roster, because now he has a whole nother scholarship that he can go and divvy out to other players, and his program will look 10 times better. Not to mention, a lot of coaches get a lot of accolades for having the highest GPA as a team, and some of them even get bonuses.
So if I was a high school baseball player right now, what like with all the restrictions going on with the NCAA, NJCAA, all those different conferences, what's the best way for me to get looks or to get information out there to schools that would be interested in a player like whatever caliber I am?
Well, you got to have somebody in your corner, and you've got to be able to do your due diligence, and that starts when you're in high school. If baseball is a possibility for you in college, then you should be narrowing down places that you want to be. And I don't mean specific programs, I mean regionally. You don't have to make a life choice as a freshman or a sophomore in high school, but you should start figuring out where you want to be in this country, the Southeast, the Northeast, the Midwest, and start targeting some of those schools that are in that area, because at that point we don't know where you're going to be athletically, but you can control your academics at that point. And athletically, the sky's the limit, because you could end up being a Division I guy as a freshman in 2 years or 3 years. So at that point, you're targeting an area, not so much a specific program.
So what are some, what's kind of going on with the restrictions as far as like recruiting, dead period, everything like that? How has that changed, and how has it been kind of prolonged?
That's changed a lot, and it's been fluid recently in the last 6 months. Right now, it is basically a dark period until 2021 for Division I schools. At this point, the Division II programs have kind of made it a little more lenient when it comes to recruiting, and NJCs, they've always had pretty much an open recruiting program. But with that being said, they're not looking for as many players at this point because of the eligibility requirements that have gone on the last 6 months, where more or less guys that were taken at 2019s are still considered freshmen athletically. Maybe not academically, but you see where the funnel keeps getting smaller and smaller for guys that want to be baseball players at the next level, and they're still in high school. Because there's only so many spots, guys, and they have 11.7 scholarship at a Division I program, and less than that typically at a D2 program. The rules differ dramatically when it comes to NAIA. Division III, obviously there are no athletic scholarships. There is a ton of academic endowment that can be placed for a player. And NJCs, at the end of the day, they're getting 24 full rides typically at a Division I junior college, but they're carrying 35 active players. So you really need to focus on your academics first. Your best bet at this point is to look specifically at NJCs, because you're going to get an opportunity to play because of that funnel and the scholarship programs at the NCAA level.
Yeah, now I was just kind of thinking about it, since we talk about grades a lot. What's typically the first question a coach from a college or university will ask you when he finds a player in an area that he likes?
Oh, it's always academics. Academics is always the first question. They wouldn't be calling me if you didn't have the ability, the athletic ability to play, but they want to know what you're worth academically, because like I said, you're worth 2 players if your academics are on the high end, because they can find a lot of academic money that people don't know about.
So I know we kind of talked about it in the past, like just with a lot of these kids are younger, like especially when they graduate. I think you were the same way. When I was 17 when I graduated high school. I think you were too. Nowadays, with everything going on and with just kind of like the pushback of what's going on, what do you kind of think is going to be the future with, or what do you recommend for a kid that's young that might have a year to kind of take a year off from school and everything and kind of just focus on working out or baseball, or try to find value or kind of something in his game?
I mean, that's tough. You have to understand, you don't want to mortgage your future to play baseball. So if you have your academics are on point, and you want to start your life, you want to get out of high school, and baseball is not going to be the end-all be-all for you, where you're going to mortgage your future for 4 years to play baseball, then I would say you just go forward, and if your academics are high enough, then you talk to that coach and you try to become a walk-on. And if you're good enough, I guarantee they're going to keep you, because at the end of the day, their job is on the line to put together a product that's going to get wins. And if you can help them do that, you're going to be there.
So what should a freshman who just started his high school career be, kind of what's the process going into if he wants to be a college athlete or be a college baseball player? What are the steps he needs to take?
Well, first and foremost, make sure your academics are on point and you're on the trajectory to be a high-level academic athlete. 2, from a baseball side, you need to really start focusing on your regiment, your nutrition, things like that, so that you can be at peak performance. With that being said, when it comes to the recruiting process, that is when you really have to start, figuring out where you want to be geographically. With that being said, so we're in Florida. Obviously, a lot of the guys want to stay in the Southeast, but they don't understand, too, that they could be in South Carolina or North Georgia, and it's a far trip. And a lot of people cannot handle the distance, so they have to realize, first and foremost, where are my priorities? Do I want to be a baseball player and I can be that far away from home, or I'm a homebody and you know what? If mom and dad can't see me within a couple hours and I can't go home within a couple hours, maybe baseball is not quite as important as you thought it was. But at the same time, like I said, if you are athletically inclined, people will find you. That's their job. Their job is to get wins, and if you can help them do that, they're going to do that. And if you can add an element of academics to it, like I said, now you're looked at as two players. But what should that person be doing at that point? They should start sending those emails out to coaches, to all the players, all the coaches in that region that you have interest in, and start picking out certain camps that you may want to go to and trying to find a high level of baseball to play where that program is going to allow you to be an athlete and not dictate the game to you. Because at the end of the day, they're looking for athletes, not just baseball players.
Yeah, that's true. I feel like a lot of time we ask questions, like, especially like when we get new guys, we say, all right, give us a list of your 3 junior college, D1, D2, D3, NAI, all those schools. And a lot of guys don't know because there's no research that they do ahead of time. Like, I feel, one of the biggest things, like, if you're a top tier player, like, you're going to have options. But if you're one of those in-between guys where you have to kind of find where you're going to, like I said, priorities. Like, if I'm a guy that I know I want to do like aeronautical school, or if I want to do something that's like specific to my studies, I've got to research the schools that have that so I can see if I'm able to have baseball and my academic kind of fit together. Whereas if I'm just going somewhere just to fulfill my baseball future, and if I don't have a future in it, I've almost delayed, or not so much wasted, but kind of took up more time than needed to. Because baseball can pay for your schooling too. That's one of the good things about it. Like, not everybody's going to play in MLB or play pro ball, right? So they call it the fallback plan or any of those things. But yeah, no, it's good to do research on the schools that you're interested in to know what kind of studies are going to be going on. Because when I was being recruited, I remember one of the coaches asked me, he's like, "What do you want to study?" And then you're just like, I don't really know. Whatever keeps me eligible, I guess. Whatever keeps me at a 4.0 or 3.0 eligible and keeps me on the field. But again, I just think research is kind of a crucial part of it when the recruiting process, knowing stuff about the school, so that way the coach knows that you're also interested and he's not just wasting his time towards trying to get somebody that may be 50-50 on the school or, isn't seeing eye to eye.
You can also add to that and start looking at certain campuses, before your sophomore year. All right, go on a campus tour. See if you can tour the athletics, the locker rooms, and the training facilities and things like that. Some of the stuff will really blow you away with the amount of things that you get. But at the same time, it's got to be the right fit for you, so that you have to be able to marry your academics and your athletics. Because some guys, academics are super high and their athletics is somewhere at a mid-level. All right, and that's where you have to have somebody that tells you don't want to mortgage your future just to play baseball for 4 years. All right, because baseball will come and go, but at the same time, if it's something you love, you will find a way to find that happy medium so that you can go play. And you need to have somebody in your corner that's going to fight for you. If you don't, it's tough because it's a lot of information, especially for parents that are working full-time jobs and kids that really, they have lives and they're not sure how to go about it. So instead of going about it, they just delay it. And then all of a sudden you're going into your senior year and you really have no idea where or what you're going to do. So I would say start the research now. And by the time you're a sophomore, you should go on a couple of campus tours, maybe some athletic tours, and see what that program has for you and see if it's going to be a good fit for you at a later date.
So when you talk about like kind of somebody in your corner, you kind of talk a little bit about like from a coaching stand, like a showcase from like our organization, like what kind of goes into getting these kids recruited, kind of the phone calls, the emails, constantly reaching out to guys, trying to get the eyes on them. Kind of just elaborate on that. So that, I mean, I think it's kind of one of those things that's kind of behind like a hidden door. Like it's kind of one of those things that's not always under the lights or in plain sight, but it's something that goes off the field that a lot of people don't recognize or realize is going on, and the amount of work, the effort, and just the organization involved with it.
Yeah, this year has been definitely different, but I can speak on past years. It's a constant battle. I heard someone say that you just have to be in the right place at the right time, and sometimes that is true, but like I said, if you have somebody in your corner that's fighting for them to be in attendance at a game or getting the video out there to them for the schools that you are interested in, and they're staying in constant communication with those programs and doing everything they can to fight that battle on the back end for you to make sure that you had the opportunity, that's all you can really ask for. At the end of the day, you've got to produce on the field and produce in the classroom. But if you have somebody that's fighting to keep those eyes on you for longer than that 1 inning or that 2 innings and keep them posted on any developments you have, then you got a fighting chance still.
All right, everybody. So that's kind of everything that we had for this episode. If there's certain things that you have questions about, go ahead and leave a comment down below. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel. If you like kind of the stuff that we're producing, if there's things that you want to see on the channel, go ahead and let us know. And other than that, thank you for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.
Remember, look out for tryouts. They'll be coming in January. Those are for grad years 2021 through 2025 for the summer showcase season.